Well, hello, everybody. Welcome into our pre-show here at Computer America. It is Wednesday, and we have a terrific show planned for you. In the first hour, we're going to do computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And in the second hour, we got the GizWiz. Dick DiBartolo, Mad Magazine's maddest writer, is going to be joining us for the second hour. And as you all know, or those fans of the show will know, Dick is really a very cool guy, and he's got some really fun stuff to talk about. He's got his own TV event and that he does, and he's going to be joining us. So sit back, relax, as we bring to you 2 hours of the Computer America show in just 10 seconds.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America show. It's the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And it is the middle of the week. Boy, time is moving by really fast. Halfway through.
Middle of the week.
Yeah.
My God, that almost sounds like another way to say hump day.
Yeah. It is hump day. And we have a terrific show planned for you, as always. Now, in the first hour of the show, we're going to bring to you computer and technology news. That's brought to you by Slimware Utilities. They are the official optimization software of Computer America. And in the second hour, we've got the GizWiz is going to be joining us. It's the last Wednesday of the month, and Dick DiBartolo, Mad Magazine's maddest writer, will be joining us here in the second hour. And Dick always has a lot of fun things to talk about, gadgets, devices. Most of them are tech, but some of them are not even technology oriented, but they're just very fun and they're kind of cool. And he's got his own website and his own TV show, news segments. He appears in a lot of the major news programs.
He's a busy gentleman, so we value every single hour we get with him every single month.
That's right, we certainly do, and he's going to be joining us in the second hour as well. Now, even though we're doing computer technology news, in the first hour, we still love to hear from you. If you have a comment, a question, suggestion, something's not working with your computer, we need help, technical assistance. We're here to try to help for you.
We can, if you have a technology problems or technical issues, there we go. Feel free to call in, and we can be just as confused as you are.
That's right. Well, join the club. 347-884-8881 is the number that will get you on and get you through. 347-884-8881. Or if you don't want to go on the air with us, but you still have a comment or question, suggestion, head over to ComputerAmerica.com. That is the internet home of our radio broadcasts. And in the upper right-hand portion of any page at ComputerAmerica.com, it'll say submit a question. It's a link. If you click on it, it'll take you to our question submission page. You can type in whatever you like, hit the submit button, and Ben and I will see what you've typed instantaneously. All right? And the way to reach us. The other thing that we also invite you to do is watch us. We have live video streaming, and we have done so for quite some time. And you'll be able to see Dick. You'll be able to see Ben. And Ben has the technology to display websites that we're talking about, links, videos, that type of thing, movies, so you can actually watch it. Just makes for a more...
The video portion comes in rather handy with Mr. Dick DiBartolo, because he does his own little videos for every product that he reviews. So we show a lot of those when he's on with us.
Yeah, exactly. So it just makes for a more fun experience. And we highly recommend that you take advantage of that. Now, the way you do that is you head over to ComputerAmerica.com. Again, any page there, you'll see in the menu bar, it says Show Lounge. Just click that. It'll take you immediately to our live video streaming page. You'll be joined to the show that's already in progress, and you can watch the live video stream as well as listen to the show at the same location. So It's all everything you need to know about our show is again at computeramerica.com. So we're getting ready to start. We got some interesting stories. I know you're still working on some. I've got a few as well. Is there anything else you'd like to mention to our listeners before we get started, Ben?
Anything else? Of course, check out computeramerica.com. It has all of our great content, as well as places like Google Plus and Facebook and Twitter and yada yada yada. Follow up there, Twitter, especially because our resident Twitter expert Fort does a great job of telling you who's coming on the show and other valuable information. So please follow us on Twitter. And I think we are good to go. That's all I got.
Okay, and don't forget, we're just 2 days away from our social media winner of the week that we do at our website at computeramerica.com. We'll talk a little bit later about that. If you're not already registered to win a really nice prize from Logitech. So, okay, well then I guess we will get started with computer news. Today's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system. Slimwareutilities.com.
All right. So if you would be open to me doing the first story there, Craig, I think we're going to do this one, and this one is being pulled from a website called VentureBeat, but of course I've seen it on a couple other places. So Craig, I don't have a link for you, but just sit back and enjoy, and you'll be one of the lucky few that gets to listen to my soothing voice. As VentureBeat, and they have this thing called Do Not Pay Bot, and it's a they claim it's a sort of a chat bot, but even so, I've heard it described as kind of an autocomplete form rather than a chat bot. And anywho, this thing called the Do Not Pay bot has beaten 160,000 traffic tickets.
Yeah, I saw this story from yesterday. Yeah, exactly. This is an addition. Okay, cool.
Right. Yeah, and like I said, it's been all over the web, but on this particular story, again, VentureBeat and Mr. or Mrs. Kari Johnson. But a bot made to challenge traffic tickets has been used more than 9,000 times by New Yorkers. And again, this was done using something called a Do Not Pay, and by maker Joshua Browder, who actually made it himself. And Browder, by the way, is only 19 years old. So, young kids still doing crazy things. So the bot was made available to New Yorkers in March. In recent years and decades, residents of the Big Apple have seen a persistent increase in traffic fines, with a record $1.9 billion in traffic fines issued by the city of New York. Now, that doesn't mean that they have that much revenue. That just means that they issued that many parking tickets. So, since the first version of the bot was released in London last fall, 160 of 250,000 tickets have been successfully challenged with Do Not Pay.
Wow,
that's a pretty good success record.
Yeah,
that's almost 75%. That's really good. So they have a quote here from the creator saying, "I think the people getting parking tickets are the most vulnerable in society. These people aren't looking to break the law. I think they're being exploited as a revenue source by the local government." And I'm sure a lot of people out there who have gotten a parking ticket after you ran inside for 5 minutes and you feel like you aren't obstructing justice, you aren't obstructing normal flow of traffic, you just had to be in there for 2 seconds, and you come back out and you have a parking ticket. I'm sure they feel the exact same way, where they say, "Ooh, they're just looking to make a buck off me. I'm not even bothering anyone." I'm sure you've had this sentiment before. So,
yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Exactly. Has it ever happened to you, Craig, where you just run in for 5 minutes and you come out with a ticket?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Lucky you. I have, and usually it's in college towns where they'll actually stake out places where people are known to kind of pull over and run inside for a second, and they'll hit you, super quick. But at any rate, so to challenge the ticket, and if any of you are listening, to challenge the ticket, users log on to donotpay.co.uk so obviously, like they said, it was it's only for London, and he opened it up to New York again in March, and he's hoping to bring it to Seattle this fall. So only in these particular areas, not even nationwide or elsewhere. So 2 cities so far with 160,000 overturns. That's pretty crazy. So anyways, do not pay.co.uk and chat to a bot that asks them questions like whether signs were visible at the time a fine was issued or the size of a parking space. So that's where the chatbot thing kind of comes into play, is that it's much more natural than just, please fill out this form, yada, yada, yada. It's a conversationalist bot that asks you questions that you can answer naturally. And depending on what answers you give it, it will go to the city's, it will go through the steps that the city has already put online and fill out the appropriate forms that let you challenge the ticket online, and does that for you. So since the creation of Do Not Pay, Browder has begun to work on a bot to help people with HIV understand their legal rights and one to collect compensation for people whose flights were delayed beyond 4 hours. So this guy seems to be really on the ball, but as far as it goes to chatbots and legal kind of work. So he's saying that he's also creating a bot that helps refugees apply for asylum as part of the Highland Capital Summer Startup Accelerator program. It will utilize IBM Watson to translate from Arabic to English. So yeah, and one last quote from him saying that I feel there's a goldmine of opportunities because so many services and information could be automated using AI, and bots are a perfect way to do that. And it's disappointing at the moment that it's mainly used for commerce transactions by ordering flowers and pizza, which we've seen, from other companies. I'm sure he's referring to Domino's, who, Dom, who is the artificial intelligence that will order and make your pizza for you, that we've talked with, let's say, Sandy Burger. Yeah, this seems like a gentleman who genuinely believes that artificial intelligence and talking to chatbots and what have you is the way of the future when it comes to things that can be automated. And to him, the things that quote unquote can be automated include challenging parking tickets, include seeking asylum for different countries, or so on, or like his other one there, helping people with HIV understanding their legal rights. He's using these bots, and if he can get them to work, I can see a lot of people who would very easily and very readily start using these automated systems. Couldn't you?
It's an unusual application for this type of for artificial intelligence, but certainly one that
a weird application, but 160,000 tickets out of 250 that he successfully overturned.
Yeah, that is incredibly effective.
Let's say each one costs $30. He just saved people something in the neighborhood of $5 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what parking ticket is worth $30 nowadays? It's probably closer to 80 or 90. It's
yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, they hand them out like, when we were in California, I parked too close to the curb, and then I realized I couldn't open my door, so I pulled it out slightly so I could get out, otherwise physically exit the car because I couldn't do it. Went inside, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, came back, someone gave me a parking ticket saying I was too far away from the curb. And I said, if I was too close to the curb, I couldn't open the door because the curb is so high, so.
Yeah, no. Like I said at the beginning of this, a lot of people who get parking tickets, they themselves can see or can sometimes feel that they are being exploited just for a revenue source. Because again, you didn't feel like you were blocking normal flow of traffic. You didn't feel like that if a fire truck had to come through, that your car was in the way. It's 160,000 people feel the exact same way and were able to get overturned. Now, the point that a lot of people raised about this whole chatbot thing was that is the bot quote unquote practicing law, because he's helping people challenge traffic violations for them. And if he is found, or if this bot is found to be practicing law on behalf of others, then that would make it illegal. He has to take it down, and he could potentially, be, found guilty of whatever crimes are associated with practicing law without a permit or without a license. So yeah, I don't know if this is going to become widespread, where soon everything is going to be automated that can be automated, because we have lawyers for a reason. They have to pass a bar for a reason. And if it's like, oh, I have to file for child support. Well, yeah, sure, we have a chat bot. Just go to this website and answer how old your kids are, and he'll get the paperwork started for you. It takes a lot of nuances when it comes to the law.
Because there are a lot of legal websites. There's like LegalZoom. I see that advertised all the time. That will.
But isn't that kind of like a portal? Not like a portal, but like a finder for you to find legal representation. Like it doesn't do legal itself.
No, it does legal stuff, but it does things that like wills and that type of thing.
I know, but they have like lawyers who work for them that can do this stuff legally.
But you might never ever, a lawyer might never see it. In other words, sometimes it's just boilerplate. They'll send you the proper form, and you just fill in the blanks. And
I would like to think that if I'm making a legal document, someone who has a law degree, or someone who works in the legal department, would eventually somewhere see it and rubber stamps it, but still see it.
Maybe, I don't know. I've never had to use LegalZoom or anything like it, but I know that a lot of the documents are pretty much boilerplate.
Maybe we should have them on the show. We are confused about LegalZoom.
Exactly.
I feel like we should have them on the show. So yeah, that was a Do Not Pay bot. Again, it's only available in London and New York, which I can see because they are two of the most busy, cities on Earth. But like I said, this fall, potentially, Seattle is going to get the Do Not Pay bot as well. So let's see if this thing stands. And, it has a really, really good track record.
Yep.
What this 19-year-old is doing with multiple bots is very impressive.
It is very impressive. And I think it's very entrepreneurial of him to do this. Before we go on, our next story, we have a question from one of our listeners. It's a general tech question. He says, I have an 8-year-old ThinkPad with 8 gigs of memory. He says, a few times I've turned it on and it hangs on the BIOS screen. It doesn't happen every time. I run a memory test and it didn't find any errors. I'm guessing it's just the age of the computer, but I'm curious if you'd recommend anything else I can check or any tools I can run to diagnose the issue. Thanks. Now, that's from Jonathan. And BIOS basically is the basic input-output system that most computers still have, and it is like when you turn your computer on and it starts everything. Before it starts everything, there's a little bit of code in there called the BIOS that regulates everything, gets everything set up, to boot the operating system from the hard drive or from a floppy drive, whatever you have from a CD, whatever. That's all the basic input-output system does. It's been around for a very long time. There have been rumors of not rumors, but movements by companies like Microsoft to get rid of the BIOS, but and substituting something else. But still, most computers still have the BIOS system. And my suggestion to you, Jonathan, is that if it's intermittent, that is probably, first of all, the most difficult thing in the world to as I'm sure you were aware of, to find a solution for. Something that works sometimes, it doesn't. I don't think it's a software problem. I do think that it's a hardware problem. What I would suggest to you, if you have memory that can be removed in your computer, like memory sticks or something, what I would suggest is with your computer off, obviously pull it and get a pencil eraser and see if there's any oxidation on the little fingers that go into the slots. That will cause a problem, and use the pencil eraser to clean that off.
You mean the pen?
The pens, yeah. And if you look at the eraser, if there's a black residue on the eraser, there's oxidation. That's an oxidation can cause a problem very, very similar to this. So if you have that, if it's on your computer, if you have removable memory, and most laptops do now, in the back, I would suggest that you pull them out, clean them off like that, then put them back and see if that problem goes away. It may do it, and then again, it may not. Intermittent problems are extremely difficult to diagnose and pin down. It may help, or it may be, as you say, it just may be the age of your computer, and there's not too much more you can do.
If nothing else, if your computer is 8 years old, and I don't know if you live with a couple of dogs like I do, big hairy dogs, but even after 8 years, even in the cleanest living environment, you're going to get dust, and dust is going to get in there. It's going to be all over your computer. And it sounds like a ThinkPad, which I think is which is a laptop, which are a little bit harder to take apart.
Okay.
But keep perfect track of everything. Paper towels, collect your screws, but take it apart. Canned air, compressed air, whatever you have, blow out all the dust, all the dirt. I'm sure it will love you back for whatever you do to it. And
try the eraser.
Yeah, and like Craig said, and like Craig said, try the eraser. If it hangs occasionally, I doubt it's going to be like I just kind of did a quick Google search, which I'm sure you've done as well, but I found people saying that it was anywhere from RAM and memory, which it sounds like you tested, and nothing came back bad there. Some people said it was a bad motherboard, and if that's the case, then if a motherboard is toast, you might as well just get a whole new computer. That's one of the hardest things to replace in a laptop.
A failing power supply will also cause this kind of problem.
A failing power supply, but those are pretty easy to check with laptops. And then I've also heard tell of a faulty hard drive where your hard drive is starting to go. And after 8 years, that's a couple years over the expected lifespan of a hard drive. So, it could be any number of things, but I would first start with the easiest and probably the cheapest, which is just a good cleaning. Move on to, checking for any kind of oxidation like Craig said. And then after that, it's going to be a game of cat and mouse if it's your motherboard or your hard drive or, something else.
Or it's just...
of course, check your drivers because, the BIOS kind of connects the operating system to all the drivers and everything like that. So also make sure all your drivers are up to date.
Yeah, but I think it's even before he gets to the drivers, it's just hanging on the BIOS.
That's why I said it last.
Yeah, exactly.
Clean it, check for oxidation, and then, drivers.
And if that doesn't work, Jonathan, maybe it's just time to play taps over the computer and get yourself a new one, So exactly.
And then it's really time for it to go if you can't even play taps over it. So.
Exactly.
No, just 8 years is
a long time.
Well, it doesn't seem like a long time because it's like, oh, I just got this thing, and it's not my primary computer anymore, but I still use it occasionally. I know 8 years doesn't seem like a lot, but you got to think that that was back in 2008 when you got it, and even back then, the expected lifespan of any computer was probably about 4 years before even us, on the show would say, about 4 years, start looking 5-6 years, really, consider purchasing one. 8 years is just, too long to have a computer. The hard drive is going to fail or the power source is going to fail. Something is going to fail. So 8 years, it's just one of those things.
All right. So anyway, let's continue on. Ben and I are doing computer and technology news brought to you by Slimmer Utilities. And this next story from Popular Science, Amazon Echo owners can now enable Alexa skills via voice. I'm sure Sandy Berger is going to really love this. And also Alexa now also supports Lyft and Honeywell, according to this story from Popular Science.
Hey, we have a Honeywell.
Yeah. Amazon Echo serves...
Oh, we do.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So Amazon Echo serves as the retail company's always listening home device, which allows its voice-controlled virtual assistant Alexa to serve many of your requests, such as reading out the news or weather forecasts and setting timers. Well, for a while now, Amazon has allowed Echo owners to extend their devices. Using the Alexa smartphone app, Echo owners can enable certain extra features from third parties, which Amazon calls skills. I like that. These can involve controlling certain smart home devices or learning news from specific sources. Now, Echo owners can enable those skills simply by asking Alexa directly. Starting yesterday, the 1-year anniversary of the Alexa Skills Kit, Amazon fans can say phrases like, Alexa, enable NBC News, or Alexa, enable 7-minute workout, according to the company's press release earlier yesterday. Previously, if you wanted to add one of those skills, you had to use the app on your smartphone. Well, so this event also marks 1 year of the Alexa voice service, which allows hardware makers to include Alexa in their devices. And the Alexa Fund, that's Amazon's mission to help fund companies interested in developing products that contribute to voice technology or offering interesting Alexa skills. Now, in addition to understanding when you want to add a skill, Alexa learned some new actual skills as well. Lyft and Honeywell will now be supported on the Amazon Echo. Commuters, for example, will be able to say, Alexa, ask Lyft to call a line to work. Okay. Previously, Echo owners could only use the device to summon Uber cars. According to the director of Amazon, he said that we're thrilled to be working with Lyft on our launch of their new Alexa skill. On the go, Alexa customers can now ask Alexa to order a Lyft or even tip their driver. All you have to do to say, Alexa, ask Lyft to call a ride, and you're on your way. We're excited to offer more convenience and ride options for Alexa customers. Amazon didn't cap the announcement only at the Echo News. Kindle owners can now look forward to Page Flip, a feature that makes navigating cookbooks and magazines easier. Fans of Amazon's Dash buttons, which I really, really think are kind of cute, and I think they're really neat, they can look forward to 50 more options. Some of the new Dash buttons come from brands including Nerf, Play-Doh, and Cliff Bar. The updates to the Echo solidify Amazon's position as one of the top choices in the home virtual assistant market. Google announced plans to compete against Echo with Google Home back at I/O 2016, and while Apple announced that Siri would incorporate support for third-party functions, that was at the Worldwide Developer Conference. We talked about that with Bob Levitas yesterday, Dr. Mac Levitas. Apple has yet to announce an official Echo competitor. With Amazon not waiting for its rivals to catch up, Apple and Google, despite having iOS and Android, may still have quite the battle ahead of them because Amazon's got such a leap ahead. It's really interesting because they're so far ahead. It's what Apple used to do. They would come out with something and they were so far ahead of everybody else that they had to play kind of catch up. And Amazon, I think, finds itself in that enviable position with when it comes to the Echo.
Again, not a huge fan of the Dash buttons. That's the only thing that struck me about that whole story. But Amazon really did a good job here, where they made it attractive enough where people were, if they want to be an early adopter, they definitely got some initial value. And we've seen this. I like to think that Apple Watch falls in the same category, that the initial purchase wasn't that good for the Apple Watch. They had a lot of promises that, developers are going to get their hands on the software. It's going to be used for more and more apps. Currently it'll tap your wrist and that's about it, blah, blah, blah. But the initial offering from Amazon Echo was so good that a lot of people early adopted, and then they didn't stop there. They have been improving this thing. The same one that you purchased, a year and a half ago, a year ago, is only getting better and better with every one of these updates. I really do admire, Amazon for not just having a product, but continuous supporting of the product, even though there's not really a monthly fee, of course, unless you count Amazon Prime, which is, very, very useful if you have one of these things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, to see these things get better and better is just, for early adopters, wonderful news. And for people who are kind of waiting and seeing how good this thing is going to get, it's only getting better and better.
Yep, it is. It really is. It's a really cool little device. Okay.
And now they have the dots and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right. So let us move on. And I know we have about a minute, so let's see if we can do a really quick one here, which I don't think we can. But how about 802.11ac Wave 2? And this is an article from Engadget. And yeah, it's about the new Wi-Fi spec. Again, we're going to have to continue this on the other side of the break. But suffice to say, I think a lot of you already know about 802.11ac. But now there's something on the market that could be, that could be called 802.11ac Wave 2 standard, which promises a big leap in speed without reinventing the wheel. So, we're going to go over some of the specs, but let's just say it has double the bandwidth per channel and could double your performance in good conditions. So you're more likely to hit those speeds too. There's an additional spatial stream in the wider 5 gigahertz channel, which is good. There's 2.4 and 5. 5's better. And the best part, your existing router might already support it. So
it's got like 3 antennas coming out. It looks really kind of nice.
Well, this is just one from Linksys, but any from Netgear, Linksys, whatever router you prefer, if they have MIMO, and they are 802.11ac compliant, then they probably will get this update.
Very nice. Very nice. Again, it's when all these things are in the draft form and the pre-release that one of the things that all these companies have learned is to make this uploadable. You can upload the latest version.
Software is just as important nowadays as hardware.
Yes, it is, and most all these devices today are completely upgradable online. Oh, we're at the bottom of the hour. We got another news tips bulletin review from Marty Winston coming up as well, and we're going to have a short break, some commercial messages, and we'll continue on with our computer news and the Dickie Bartolo in the second hour. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons: accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons: accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Yeah, my Raspberry Pi programs keep giving me the raspberries. Marty Winston with a news tips bulletin review for Computer America. This time the Kidda FireX talking smoke and carbon monoxide alarm. Any smoke alarm can beep when there's a fire, but the Kidda FireX combo ionization smoke and electrochemical carbon monoxide alarm can talk. Not much, not often, but the message is fire or warning carbon monoxide, or one of a few maintenance messages. It also sounds an 85 decibel alarm. This is AC powered with AA cell backup and interconnectable, so all of them in a house can alert when any one of up to 18 of them triggers. Bottom line, equipping your home with Kidda FireX Smart Combo smoke and carbon monoxide alarms that talk and interconnect is like keeping a fire lookout team on guard and connected all through the house. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
And thank you, Marty Winston, for that news tip bulletin review. We get a couple of those every single week, and we really enjoy having those reviews every single week. So we are here continuing on doing computer technology news brought to you by Slimmer Utilities, as we are, just going over the important news stories of the day, things that we feel are very relevant to you. And yeah, we just finished up about 802.11ac Wave 2, which will start shipping out here soon. And yeah, if you haven't already upgraded to an 802.11ac router, And folks, here's a dirty little secret that if you rent a router from your cable company, odds are you're not going to have this. Not a lot of cable company routers have 802.11ac compliant stuff. At best, they're 802.11 BGN, so either N or possibly even G. So we highly recommend that you go out there. You will get faster speeds over Wi-Fi. You will get stronger signals, and you will get more steady signals, so less dropping. So definitely worth going out and investing in. And if you pay for internet service, odds are you're actually paying an $5 to $10 fee to even rent a router in the first place. So some benefits over the course of a year. Heck, it could possibly pay for itself over its lifetime. So something to also consider. And so moving from 802.11ac wave 2, let us go on over to how about AMD. Now, AMD, they make graphics cards, they have processors and whatnot, but we are going to talk about their graphics cards right now because they just released the AMD Radeon RX 480, and as Engadget's claiming, and I think as a lot of people are claiming, it's they're calling it the new king of the budget video card. And real emphasis on the word king of the budget graphics card is because this thing is not very competitive when it comes to, let's say, NVIDIA's 1080X line. It's going to be about 3 times more expensive than the RX 480, but for what it can do, it's probably going to be very, very attractive because a lot of graphics card sales are actually in that $100 to $200, $250 range. Not a lot of people are looking to spend that $600+ on a graphics card, no matter how much they would like to. So getting to be the king of the place where a lot of the sales are is very important. So like I said, Engadget, Davinja Hardware, and of course, instead of trying to build the biggest and most powerful video card on the market, AMD has aimed at the low end with, again, the AMD Radeon RX 480. But that doesn't make it any less exciting than NVIDIA's recent powerhouse, the GTX 1080 or 1070 GPUs. So, of course, AMD's pitch for the RX 480 is simple. It's a $200 video card that is virtual reality ready. And that is hugely important, especially since the current batch of GPUs that meet minimum VR specs cost around $350. So that just made VR about $150 cheaper. So, of course, the author admits that he was skeptical when AMD announced that the RX 480 at Computex last month. We did cover it then. But after putting one through its paces over the past few days, it feels like Han Solo in The Force Awakens. It's true, all of it. I did not see The Force Awakens, but I'm sure that's a quote. So, of course, they're saying that, to be fair, AMD did prime the pump a bit by sending the author an 8 gig version of the RX 480, and that card retails for about $239, whereas the 4 gig model goes for about $200. So there will be some performance difference between the cards, but it likely won't be a significant with most games today. So obviously they admit that the 8 gig version is going to be better, and they're saying that compared to its old top of the line, which was again the R9 Fury X, which I believe is still more expensive than their newest one, than the RX 480. They're saying that it's elegant in its simplicity, very, very simply designed. It's on a 14 nanometer chipset with a single kind of card built into it. But let's get to some benchmarks where, they have a chart here saying that the Radeon RX 480, which again is the one we're talking about, has for its 3D mark has a standard 10,000 with Extreme 5,000, Ultra 2,000. These are, I don't want to say they're frames, but whatever benchmark they're using, it comes in just short of, about half as good as the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080, which is the latest one from NVIDIA, and compared to the AMD R9 Fury X, which is AMD's still current top of the line, it's about a third as less powerful. So, whereas 10,000 with their R9 Fury X, you get 13,000. So, obviously there are very important differences between them where, their newest, the RX 480 is not as powerful as NVIDIA's top of line or even AMD's their own top of line. The price that you're paying for what you're getting, it's king. For $200 and you're getting something half as powerful, but it costs a third as much.
Wow.
There's nothing you can really compare it to.
Wow. Very cool.
So, no. I just want to wrap this up by saying that if you're looking for gaming on the cheap, or kind of a budget computer system, there really is no way around it. Either an old NVIDIA GTX 970, which is like the previous generation, which is about $300, is probably comparable to the new RX 480, which will run you about $200 to $240. So, $50-$70 cheaper, but will perform just as well. And that is really, really impressive from AMD.
Yeah, and we had, so it was been a while since we've heard anything new from AMD coming out. So that's
NVIDIA has been capturing, the top of line stuff for a while now, but that doesn't mean that AMD is just sitting around doing nothing. They're just aiming their sights a little bit lower.
right. Okay, we're going to continue on with this. This next story from Engadget. How many of you out there use the VLC media player? I mean, I've used it for years. It's sort of like the VLC media player. I kind of look at as the just to have it in my toolbox. So when everything else that I have doesn't work or won't run it
won't run a file. Yeah, VLC has all the things it needs to run that.
Yeah, VLC comes through, so it's a last-ditch effort, and then usually I've rarely ever had VLC not being able to play something. It's sort of like the jack of all trades. Well, evidently, VLC Media Player is going to finally be available for Windows 10 today. All right, so now, for those of you who have been missing this player, you see, it gets an enthusiastic round of applause. Yes, exactly. It's available for Windows 10 today, and it's going to come out for the Xbox One this summer. Look at that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, those of you who don't know about VLC, in its true form, it's free. It's done by it's done by the Linux community, like it's open source, and anyone can contribute to it, and you can donate, of course, to the people who make it. But the program itself is, of course, free for anyone.
Yes, it is. It's for the Mac, for the PC, for Linux. I mean, VLC's been around for a long time and very, very good. But anyway, according to this story from Engadget, at last, Videoland's VLC media player has a universal Windows 10 app, and it definitely won't be confined to conventional Windows devices for long. The developers released a Windows 10 beta that, on a base level, embraces Microsoft's modern OS on both PC and mobile. You'll get recent VLC staples like a media library, a network browser, and a full player alongside Windows 10's perks like Cortana voice commands, live tiles, and continuum support when you dock your phone. However, the real fun might come later. VLC has teased the app's promised HoloLens and Xbox One support, and it's clear that it won't lose much, if anything, in translation. The features and interface will be familiar whether you're watching on a console or on an augmented reality headset. So to no one's surprise, the VLC beta is going to be rough around the edges for a while. You won't get Xbox One support until the system has had access to the unified Windows Xbox App Store this summer. But there are also technical issues holding up support for HoloLens and the Surface Hub. And if you're holding on to a Windows 8.1 or Windows Phone 8.1 for dear life, you'll have to wait a few weeks before the app works. Even so, it's a big leap if you wanted VLC's Play Anything flexibility in a Microsoft-friendly format. And that's truly what it is. It's VLC's Play Anything flexibility. That's what makes it so desirable, and it's evidently coming now to Windows 10 today and the Xbox One this summer. So go get it. It's there waiting for you.
I'm surprised that VLC wasn't available for Windows 10 up until this point. I mean, it's hugely important, and glad to see it finally come.
Yeah.
Right. So let us move on over to.
Can I
How
just,
about?
before can I make a comment? I know if you're watching the live video stream, I just I don't know if necessarily to the story, but there's a story that you gave to me from Engadget, which is the Chevrolet cuts in-car LTE data pricing in half, which is kind of interesting. But that aside, if you're watching the live video, you should check out, Ben, if you can put that up. The dashboard to this car is just amazing, and this is not
Which publication is that from, by the way?
Engadget. You know, it's been a while since I've looked at a brand new car, but I have to say the cars, we keep saying, they're computers on wheels. Look at that dashboard. I mean, it's just like it's integrated into the dash.
Well, yeah, and that's something that we're seeing more and more of. Obviously, it was in high-end cars a couple of years ago. It's trickling its way down to mid-range cars, and eventually, even the lowest of the low cars. Not saying they're bad cars, just low end of the price spectrum. Yeah, we're seeing a shift away from knobs and buttons and dials and stuff like that.
Right.
And we're seeing a shift to everything being built into what at this point what could only be called a tablet built into your console.
Right, but it looks so slick, and not only that, it's even the speedometer, and the tachometer which were mechanical dials are no longer there. They're actually they appear, and they're all electronic. They're virtual. They're displays. We're seeing less and less of we're seeing less mechanical devices, as you mentioned, knobs and dials and
knobs and dials and
and indicators and gauges. They're all becoming virtual. They're all becoming mechanical ones are going away.
Yeah, and since you brought it up, let's just go with this one because like Craig was just saying, this was in a Chevy car, and just looking at it, you can see that these things are really tablets with cars built around them nowadays. From this tablet, of course, for some of the basic functions like air conditioning and things like that, that's still controlled in a couple cars by dials and knobs. But in some of the higher end cars, even those, including whenever you put it in reverse, the screen goes blank and you can see behind you in those rear facing cameras. It'll show you notifications. It'll give you turn by turn directions. These cars are starting to use something called data, and data is something that we use on our phones and tablets all the time. So why not have it start to ingest that into your car, and your car can now connect to the internet. Your car can now update itself software wise, wherever it is. It can do all these different things that you require an internet connection for. So Chevy says that they are promising to drop their LTE data pricing in half. Because if you use data and use it on the LTE network, you essentially had to buy a cell phone data plan, from a carrier. And it's something that you negotiate after you buy the car. Your dealership usually sets it up, and then after that, you have to set it up yourself. But the cheapest option, they're saying that the ongoing costs of owning a car just got a little cheaper for Chevy drivers who opted to trick out their new vehicle with a 4GE LTE data plan. So the automaker has cut the rates for its in-car cellular service in half. So, of course, the cheapest option starts at $10 a month for 1 gig of data, which is down from $20, while the 10 gig a monthly plan now runs you about $40 a month, which is cheaper than my cell phone. I think I'm paying something like 5 gigs. I won't say the carrier, but like 5 gigs on like a share plan, and that costs something like $70. So 10 gigs for 10 gigs for $20. No, I'm sorry, 10 gigs for $40 and 4 gigs for $20, and a flat rate 150 annual plan that gives you 20 gigs spread out over the course of the year. So a lot of really good data plans there, as compared to, let's say, something like a cell phone.
Yeah.
So, of course, according to Chevy, it's the big truck guys guzzling up the LTE data. Silverado drivers consume the most. See, you get fun little tidbits like this when you start connecting cars to the internet, is that you start to get analytics. and you start to see what car owners are really using their cars for. Like they're saying here that Silverado drivers consume the most, followed by Suburbans, Tahoes, and Traverses.
It's like
So,
the CB of the 21st century.
it's like the what?
The CB of the 21st century.
No, it's not like the CV of the 21st century. It's like, odds are, if you own a big truck, either you do something where you're in the truck all the time. It like either they're using it for like their daily purpose, or they're moving stuff over a course of a couple days. They have to drive cross country. Like if you have a little a little Honda Civic, you're not going to use that to haul construction equipment around all day long. But the big trucks, guys are driving them all the time. They really get their money's worth. And of course, they're going to, they're the ones who are going to be using the most, let's say Pandora. They're going to be using the most, whatever radio service you prescribe to, maybe the most Blog Talk Radio, listening to Computer America all the time. They're going to be the ones using the most data because they're the one using their trucks the most. So, although the article continues saying that although that could change once the autonomous Chevy Bolts free more drivers from the hassle of having to actually look at the road. And when they say autonomous Chevy Bolt, I'm sure it's some kind of autopilot feature where it'll keep you in your lane, keep you from hitting the car in front of you, and essentially cruise control on steroids, where it'll kind of keep you going in the right direction. So overall, in-car data usage has been steadily on the rise since the introduction in 2014. They have a quote here saying that with these lower prices, we expect even more customers to use 4G LTE connectivity during their busy summer driving season. That was the OnStar manager of marketing strategy, saying that more and more people are going to be using their cars. And this is something that I expressed a couple of weeks ago after I just took that long car ride from one office to the other.
Right. Yeah.
Was that I would have, I had to use my cell phone after a while there, but when you're on the road for, 10 hours at a time, you can only listen to the same pop songs. You can only listen to the same talk radio. You can only listen to the same thing on AM, FM radio for so long before you start to realize, maybe I want to listen to comedy. Maybe I want to listen to, something on a podcast on the internet. Maybe I want to listen to, what I want to listen to. And, 4G LTE to the rescue, it will give you exactly that. It'll give you the option of choice.
Yes, it will. Very, very cool. Very cool. All right. We still have time to do another story here, and there's one that I want to do because we just renewed our subscription to Amazon Prime, and the year went by so fast, and we did it. And lo and behold, who comes out with something? Walmart is launching a free 2-day shipping nationwide to compete directly with Amazon's Prime. Okay.
But we knew that was coming.
Yes, we did. And after a brief trial run in test cities, according to Engadget, Walmart plans to release the take on Amazon Prime, and it's only going to be $49 per year as opposed to $99.
See, and that's what the quote unquote free is that I think when people hear Amazon free 2-day shipping, everyone knows it's not technically free.
Technically,
no, it's not.
You're paying $99 a year.
You're paying $99 a year to get access to the 2-day free shipping.
Exactly. But they're going to call it the Shipping Pass membership. Now offers free 2-day shipping to all shoppers in the U.S. to lure away Amazon Prime members. Okay, and they're offering this 30-day trial. Now, however, keep in mind that Amazon Prime is more than just all about free shipping, though. Amazon Prime you get your music, you get the videos, you get to watch free videos. It's a lot more. But Walmart, they're starting out this way, and they're starting out with half the cost. Walmart's made no small secret about its plans to be more like Amazon. Early this month, Walmart also announced it was automating monotonous warehouse work, and the move to home shopping versus retail locations has already pushed Walmart to create a second distribution network on top of the one that already supplies its retail stores. Okay. As Reuters notes, current Shipping Pass holders will also get a free month of the service, which is aggressively priced at half the cost of the $99 per year for Amazon Prime's membership. While Prime still has the advantage of including music and video streaming, plus same-day shipping in certain markets, There have been rumors that Walmart will also include a similar offering involving Vudu, the streaming service it purchased back in 2010. So, there's hot competition going on there, and guess who's going to be the winner? It's you, the consumer, that's going to be to take advantage of all this. I'm surprised that Walmart hasn't done this sooner, but
it's hard because Amazon was started from the ground up as a service that you go online and you purchase something and it ships it to your door. That's how Amazon started.
Mm-hmm.
And Walmart started as, we're going to invade every, I use the word invade and I mean to use the word invade. We're going to invade every little town in America and every city. And at this point, I can only assume every street corner because I know like 3 within my local area. Like they're going to invade everywhere. They're going to make it so convenient that if you want something, you walk into the store, you pick it up with your hands, and you drive home with it, 10 minutes later. So you have 2 very fundamental differences between Amazon and Walmart, that one promises to get it to your doorstep in 2 days, and then it's very, very convenient to just hop online and find it for, in most cases, the best price. Whereas Walmart is, hey, you walk in and you pick it up and you walk out with it. To see Walmart trying to compete with Amazon in the fact that you can go on, order it, and 2 days later you get it, I don't see that really working for Walmart too well.
Really? Why?
Because Walmart, that's just not Walmart's strategy. They're trying to adapt themselves to be more like Amazon, but they can't at the end of the day because Walmart has these massive, which I think are really modern marvels at this point, when they're a couple hundreds of thousands of square feet of retail space, where they'll ship anything and everything, and they have it all on the racks in their warehouse that are automated by machine at this point, as opposed to Walmart that makes people feel like machines as they work in the retail stores all over this country. It's taking a non-physical retail location and trying to compete with a physical retail location. And I think Walmart should stick to its guns, stick to the thing that made it popular. I have no doubt that Amazon is taking some of its business, but Walmart offers something that Amazon can't, and that's the ability to walk in and walk out with an item, in minutes. Mm-hmm. As opposed to Amazon. Now, admittedly, Amazon's kind of encroaching on that business as well because they have that that 1 hour, 2 hour shipping thing they're doing.
Yeah, that's
in select cities. So if that takes off, then Walmart might have even more of a struggle. But Walmart trying to become more like Amazon, they just have too many physical locations that I don't see how they can support themselves. Like, let's say the $49 shipping thing does become popular, and their customers stop coming in, instead use the 2-day shipping, then Walmart just shot themselves in the foot, because then they have less people walking in and not buying that candy bar at the checkout line, because they're sitting there waiting to be checked out. They're going to lose revenue if this whole $49 free shipping thing takes off.
Yeah,
what is that thing that you said, Rocky? Say, that the opinions expressed by this radio station are not the opinions of the station itself. We should not be used as any kind of metric for investment or anything like that. Do not invest in any company in what I'm saying. I'm just saying is that my gut feeling is that they're trying to pull revenue away from Amazon, but odds are this $49 thing, if it does become successful, they are taking revenue from themselves rather than from Amazon.
It's interesting because they do all kinds of things. I mean, the Sam's Club, which is also part of all part of the same family, they have these memberships that you have to join. You have to renew every year. But now that they're getting the cards to be even more elaborate and with more benefits. But you're right. Walmart has something that Amazon doesn't have, and that's the physical locations of the stores. Although, however, it wasn't not too recently that Walmart closed down like several hundred, if not 1,000 stores around the country. They shut them down.
See, but even when they say they closed down 700 to 1,000, to me, I'm just thinking, oh, so there's only one every half a mile instead of one of every quarter mile. There are still tons of Walmarts. I'm surprised there are more public libraries than there are Walmarts. It's crazy. Any kind of closing is not catastrophic for them, but I just don't see how 2-day shipping benefits Walmart.
Well, I do shop with Walmart online. I go to walmart.com.
Yeah, but don't you just ship it to the store and go in and pick it up, or see if they have it in your local store and go pick it up?
Yeah, you can check to see if they have it in your local store, but if you don't, they can ship it to you. But then again, it's not free shipping unless you start this thing.
But if you have the option between Amazon, which is probably going to be cheaper because they don't have to pay for physical locations, wouldn't you just go with Amazon anyways?
Probably, if it's less expensive, sure.
See?
Yeah.
I just don't see how Walmart comes ahead in this.
Unless you need it right now, then you go down the block and around the corner, and there's Walmart. You can just go pick it up. You know?
Right. So I say I don't see how Walmart can come ahead in this, and they probably have a swarm of Harvard graduates saying this is the best way to go about this.
What about perishables? What about perishables, though? If you want to get ice cream or something,
Amazon can ship you ice cream. I kid you not.
Okay.
They'll do it. I've tried it. They pack in dry ice. It's very, very possible.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. All right. Well, that about does it for computer and technology news. Dick DeBartolo is in the wings with us there. I see him. If you're watching our live video stream, he's going to be joining us shortly. We're going to take a very short top of the hour break, and then we'll be back with him. You're listening to the Computer America Show. Stay with us. We're going to be right back in just a short moment.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And we just finished doing our computer and technology news, and we're getting ready to move into the second hour of the show. Dick DeBartolo, the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer, will be joining us shortly. Again, here's what I suggest that you do. If you're watching the live video stream, we also you can follow along with us as well. What you need to do is just head over to Dick DeBartolo's website. It's GizWiz.biz is the website, and on there you'll see a banner that says "Non-Paid Lackey Fun on Computer America." Click that, and you'll be able to see all the different items that we're going to be talking about with Dick on today's show. So anything else before we bring Dick onto the program, Ben?
If you miss anything in the first hour, please feel free to check out our archives. Again, there's video footage of what we've just done. There is there's of course the audio archives that can be found all over, including iTunes and places like that. In case you miss anything, feel free, if we did not get to a question or comment or what have you, feel free to send us an email or send us a message through our website, and we'll get to it another day when we do computer and technology news. But no, looking forward to talking with Dickie yet again, and I think I'm good to go.
Okay, well, as I mentioned, he's known as the GizWiz, as well as being Mad Magazine's maddest writer. Dick DeBartolo is mad about gadgets and is here to share some of them with us today. Dick is an official Computer America correspondent who appears here on the show every last Wednesday madness of the month. And Dick, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're just doing really well here.
Doing well.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm siding with Ben on this Amazon versus Walmart.
The fight of the Titans, the Goliath.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't Amazon have like 80 times the amount of gadgets that Walmart has?
I think their warehouse has more stuff, but you know, as I said, it's centrally located, so they don't have to deal with the big, 18-wheeler trucks trying to move it back and forth. It's all in one or two central locations.
Yeah, I had one of those things. I needed some grease for my boat. I was changing propellers, and on Amazon I bought it, and in the morning, and they said, if you want it later today, it's just $5.99 extra. And so I had it by by 5 o'clock. And I'm
Isn't
thinking,
that amazing?
if you ordered something and had them FedEx it, FedEx overnight would have been $30.
Sure.
And I'm thinking, this is really something.
It is. And now you're in New York City, so you really have access to all of these.
I do, because I think they built a huge warehouse right across the river.
Yeah.
And I think if I got my boat running, I could just run to the other shore and they would just hand it to me.
And it's true. I mean, it's getting to the point where they had this. They finally had the 2-day delivery, then guaranteed overnight, and then now the same day delivery, and they're even. You think, well, they're making it even faster. They're saying, if you order by this, you'll get it before 12 noon.
I've seen mini trucks in the neighborhood saying Amazon 2-hour delivery. So they've certainly, I know every once in a while it'll say delivery depends on your zip code, but certainly I'm in the zip code where you can get something in 2 hours.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And it's convenient, but also for people who might be not be able to go out or whatever the reason may be. The point is it's just nice to have that convenience available.
Absolutely. It just amazes me. And I also love the fact that they deliver tons of stuff via the United States Postal Service, because Postal Service has keys to buildings. And so you don't have to be home. When I first started getting packages, I said to the UPS, not the UPS guy, the United States Postal Service guy, I said, what if I'm not home? And he said, the rule is if we can put it behind a locked door, we deliver it. And so they can get into the hallway here, which is secure because it's behind a locked door. And that way I don't even worry about staying home for a delivery. So, I assume Amazon is going to have to make a deal with the post office too. But and then the other thing is I do use Amazon Music and I do use Amazon Video, and so it's going to be interesting.
All right. Well, and speaking about,
but at the same time, it's like we're talking about, well, can Walmart compete with Amazon? And then I kind of look at my checkbook here and I'm like, can I compete with anyone? And look at Walmart's checkbook. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. They do about $18 billion in revenue every year. So who knows what's best for these companies?
Yeah, exactly.
Not us.
Probably not.
All right. So
okay.
We're going to start in, again, as I mentioned, go to GizWiz.biz and click on the non-paid Lackey Fun on Computer America.
Why is this a second month and you have no camera?
It's a technical issue.
Oh, my God, okay. Well, Walmart would deliver. Order it now. By the end of the show, you'll have it. Okay, go ahead.
But anyhow, GizWiz.biz. So let's click on the non-paid Lackey Fun on Computer America, and you can see all the things we're talking about. And I begin, and and I see this, and I just go, oh gosh, there it is, gadgets from the housewares for the holiday press event, and I'm looking at a stormtrooper's helmet, and it looks to me like it's a toaster.
Well, it is actually, yes. It is from a company called Pangea Brands, and they said that the Star Wars franchise is probably the most recognizable brand on Earth.
Really?
And Darth Vader is at the helm of that popularity. And so they have a couple of toasters in the marketplace already, so now they're adding the Stormtrooper toast. The Darth Vader toaster is already out. That's in dark black. And now next month, actually in August, so right now it's 2 months away, they're going to be introducing Stormtrooper toasters and waffle irons.
Oh my God!
I know. I guess the thing is, I don't know what the thing is. They're selling, so why not? They're it's just kind of amazing that there is. And what's interesting, and I just know this from going to press events, is that when there's a franchise like Star Wars, they divide everything into minute categories. For example, probably Pangea can make toasters and waffle irons, but they can't make popcorn makers because there's another company called Underground Toys who has the franchise to do those sort of things. I'm sure Pangea can't make Star Wars napkins because that would have gone to someone else.
Sure.
So there's a ton of money in these elaborate
Oh my gosh.
branding.
I would, oh, absolutely. By the way, if you're watching the live video stream, Ben is actually showing the Stormtrooper toaster.
Right. To me, all that says is that someone over at Disney that handles licensing of this thing just kind of sat around his office and just tapping his pen. And he was like, no one has the rights to the lampshade yet. Let's find a company to buy the rights to the
when you said
lampshade."
that, when you said that, I was he should be thinking, no one has a Star Wars pen. I'm tapping a pen here, and it's just a Bic without a Star Wars logo.
Exactly.
Wait. Nobody has a Star Wars microphone that you're speaking into. You need a Star Wars microphone.
You
Talk to R2D2 or something.
Exactly.
We can carry it out with Star Wars headphones and Star Wars. It just never ends.
Well, I know that Underground Toys. When I was talking to them, I said, "How many items do you have?" They said between Star Wars and their other franchise is, the guy with the phone booth. What is that big BBC?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. Between Star Wars and Doctor Who, at Toy Fair they introduced over 100 new items.
Wow.
Yes, so that's a lot of stuff.
And we'll watch. Ben is actually showing the video of you, Dick, at the fair, the Housewares for the Holidays fair. And I think you're about to walk over to the gentleman who has
the Pangea. Yes, this is a very funny thing, is because he just wanted to do his whole spiel, and it's one of the few times I've ever had someone take the microphone from me.
I saw that.
Right. And he said, I'll give you the history of the company. And I said, well, we don't need that. And he said, you do. And took my microphone and proceeded to do the whole spiel. And I said to him, sir, I'm not going to run this video because this is like 1 3-minute commercial. But anyway, I thought, you know what? I'm sure there are a lot of Star Wars folks who are going to say, oh, I want to know about this stuff.
Yeah. And it actually prints the Star Wars on the toast itself. I'm looking at it. You have a slice of toast. And
yes, but be warned, as you'll read in the copy, when I picked up the toast, it's plastic. So it's something that their art department came up with. Now I can understand the reasoning is because at trade shows you're not going to run around finding toast, but on the other hand, I have no idea what the real toast looks like. Only because that block of toast was really a block of plastic.
They have plates there and everything, though. They weren't handing out free samples?
No, they weren't. Did he have plates? I didn't even know.
Yeah, I see right there in the video.
Yeah, you're right.
What a bait and switch.
Bait.
Exactly.
But you're right. I mean, I don't know what that Death Star looking thing is, but
popcorn maker.
Popcorn maker. That's right. And yeah, I mean, we of course have one that we kind of bought for my mom, which was like a Cinderella glass slipper kind of thing.
Disney.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know how popular printing images on toast is, but it doesn't seem to be going away.
It printed a shoe. It printed a shoe, and it would play somewhere. Someday my prince will come on the Disney toaster. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're continuing on with things that you found there. This one reminds me of the 70s and 80s with a big boom box that someone would put on their shoulders, but this is an ice.
Those things are super expensive. I don't know if you guys have priced those things out lately, but those are coming back.
They are
boom boxes?
Yeah, the big
they
ones.
are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Well, this is a boom box of a different sort because this is actually an ice chest. It can carry, I think it was 48 cans or 28 bottles. It's a 40-quart cooler, but it has 4 speakers. It's Bluetooth enabled, so you can stream music through it from your phone or your tablet. It has, and this is, so if you buy one of these, remember the other people on the beach. It also has a microphone input, a guitar input. It has master volume control, individual volume controls for the inputs. It has a charging port for cell phones and iPads or tablets. It has a lot of stuff. The handles have built-in bottle openers, which is very clever. The lid, when you open it, has a flashlight built in, but that actually can click out, and you can use it elsewhere if you're camping at night and using this. And it is a 350 watt amplifier.
Wow.
Maximum output. And the guy played it a little bit, and it sounded pretty decent. And he said, "Should I turn it all the way up?" And we're in a convention center. What? I said, no. That's fine. That's
You know what's interesting though, the sometimes when you have a higher wattage, it doesn't necessarily mean, well, you can play it louder, although you can. But when you have a higher wattage, the fidelity of the lower volume is vastly improved.
Yes, because
So
you're not using the high end of the output.
But yeah, you're not overdriving it, and so when you get a high wattage thing like this, chances are through normal listening, you're going to hear some pretty darn good music.
Yeah. Now this, I know the frequency response is 100 to 20,000, so it's not going to be booming bass, but it'll be the best sounding
Cooler.
cooler that you've ever heard. And of course, it has built-in wheels and telescoping handle, and the guy kept saying waterproof. And I noticed when he said, and there's a compartment here where you put your tablet in, and then it locks closed. Well, I could see that his tablet didn't fit in there, and the door didn't lock closed. So on their website, they say pretty much everything is water resistant. They don't use the term waterproof. But it's an amazing amount of stuff. There's also a card reader, so you can play your music directly from an SD card. There's also a USB port, so it can play MP3s and WAM music from a flash drive also.
And all of this, and the only getcha is that it has to be connected with jumper cables from your car battery the entire time. That's impressive. How long does the battery last?
16 hours of playing time
That's not bad.
for music. No, it's not bad at all.
It's certainly
Not
a full
bad
day
at
on
all.
the beat. It's a full day on the beat.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it comes in 4 colors too.
And it comes in 4 colors. And for some strange reason, the guy told me that it's mainly selling for $350, $349.99, and on Amazon, not Walmart, although I didn't go to the Walmart website. It is $349.99 in gray, but the other colors, which to me would be more what you want, like orange and red and blue, I think they're selling for $329 or something. They're like $20 cheaper for some reason.
Wow. Okay, so certainly worth it. And again, if you're looking for an all-in-one kind of thing, that's certainly, we have all-in-one PCs. Why can't we have an all-in-one ice chest?
Yeah.
Because when you turn the bass up really high, even though you said it didn't have much bass, but when you turn the bass up really high, it shakes all of your sodas. So.
Oh, it can make cocktails with it too.
Right. Exactly. Okay, now this next one we actually talked about a while back, but we're going to take another look at it because
now it's widely distributed, like at Bed Bath & Beyond has it. So it's been kind of I think it's been 2 years since it started out. What I love about Pancake Bot is here's a guy 2 years ago, his kids like pancakes in the shape of, I think, rocket ships. And he goes, I'm tired of making these shapes every time. Why don't I design something that I could do this automatically via a computer? So out of Legos and other parts, he built this moving Pancake Bot thing that will actually let you download stuff from your computer and make pancakes in the shape of spaceships. Anything you can draw on your computer.
We're
you
looking at
can-
the Eiffel
you can
Tower
print.
here. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
looking at,
the Eiffel Tower. So what astounded me is the guy put it on Kickstarter, looking for $50,000, and he got $460,000 plus. So you know that this was one of those things that it just people just were drawn to it, and so to my mind, it still is pricey. It's $200. It's almost $300.
hey, you know,
And I said to the guy, if you can't draw, what do you do? And he said, well, you just go to the Pancake Bot website, because we encourage people to put their drawings up online so that other people can download them and print it out.
so it's basically almost like a 3D printer, but with pancake batter. Do you need a special pancake batter? Does it require?
You know what? I asked the guy what he would, and he said we're using Aunt Jemima pancake batter. But reading the reviews, you have to get the exact right consistency so that it doesn't clog the nozzle. And so what's interesting is that you are physically printing the pancake on the griddle that is cooking it.
Right. It's amazing.
This is one of the rare stories that we actually hear out of Kickstarter. That's sometimes these Kickstarter projects they ask for a goal of like 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, and then some goals go up to like 3 million, 460,000, like you said, all these huge numbers, and then like either they go bankrupt because they can't deliver on the promises they set forth, or the product just kind of goes bunk because you can't really mass produce it. So it's nice to hear a Kickstarter that actually is kind of making it. It's not just something that was promised and you can't really deliver on.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I think what also happens is that when they really start building them, they realize that they can't quite build them for the amount of money that they said in the. There was a big thing with the. Do you know about the more elaborate ice chest thing that was on Kickstarter?
No.
That looked like the one that I had, except it also had a blender built into the top. And and what happened was they made the first 10,000 units or whatever it was, and they had no money left. So instead of sending and this is the story as I heard it, so I don't know if it's gospel truth, they didn't have any money to keep making them. So instead of sending them to the people who had funded them, they started selling them to other people because they needed cash to build more. So I don't know how it got resolved, but there was a great amount of unhappy customers with it.
I believe and of course everything we just said, don't endorse them whatsoever, but I believe it was called the Coolest Ice Chest.
Oh, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
And they still say that you can buy it and it'll ship within 2 days. So.
Oh, okay. So I guess they ironed out their difficult.
So I guess stealing from Peter to pay Paul kind of worked out maybe a little bit.
Right.
Well, anyway, it's called the Pancake Bot. And and then we kind of get that.
It looks more like a conversation starter, but I guess if your kids are having you make rocket ship pancakes every day of your life, it could be a time saver. So
yeah, absolutely.
There you
absolutely.
Go. All right, so moving right along. Now I don't know about you, but bugs really do bug me, and you have to allow people to fight back.
Yes. This is kind of neat. It's called Pest Blast, and I'll tell you about the bulb, and then I'll tell you about the marketing of it. So what's different about this, there are a lot of these electric zapper bulbs, but what this one has is the bottom of the bulb, the top of the bulb is the blue with the little grill on it that attracts and kills insects.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom of the bulb looks like an actual lamp bulb. And it's very clever because when you turn the switch on once, the blue comes on. Click your switch on again within I think it's 10 seconds. Then a lamp bulb comes on, and so with the one bulb, it can either be an outdoor lamp, or it can be an outdoor lamp bug light, or you can just have the bug light on by itself. Now, when I first made this video, I had only had it for 24 hours, and overnight it had trapped about just 4 mosquitoes. But now it's more effective, but I'm so worried about mosquitoes and the viruses this year.
Yeah.
So I have this out there, but I also dug out of the warehouse my Flowtron big guy. Which
Yeah, is that the huge one?
yes, the one that's 80 watts.
Is it like a
And-
zapper? You go, zzz, 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 you know?
Yes.
You
This
get-
this one, I think they laugh a couple of minutes when they first go on it because it tickles them. They go, "Ooh, that tickles," and then they finally die. And the reason I say the Pest Blast is that I ordered Pest Blast, but I got one in a plain white box, and it's a plain white bulb. And I noticed that on Amazon, it's being sold under lots of different names. So I think what is happening is people are just buying carloads of them blank, and they don't even bother printing their own name on it. They're probably selling right now because we were just started summer. They can sell them so fast they don't even have to brand them as anything. But they're just $20, and they do work. But remember, it's got to be a fairly small area because this guy is not terribly bright. However,
Yeah.
Amazon, there were only 16 people when I bought mine, and it was getting 4.6 out of 5 stars.
That's not bad. Yeah. I mean, four mosquitoes. That's 4 less mosquitoes than there were previously were. So.
Yeah, now I have like 20 less.
Yeah. So thank you for your service there, Dick. But I can see why. I guess this year with things like the Zika and stuff like that, the big, like you said, the big honking one that I think my family used in lieu of a TV set for a while there a couple of years ago. But this little area, I guess for like an indoor patio or something like that, where like a couple may sneak in.
Yes, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
And especially if you also need a light out there. Even if you need a light out there once in a while to go out and get something, it's very convenient to not have to have a second outlet for the bulb and a lamp. So it does serve 2 functions.
Could you set this up and I don't know how bright the light is, but like we have these floodlights, whenever you go outside they turn on to guide your way. Could you use this in like lieu of a floodlight? Like, is it that bright or?
No.
Okay.
No, I think it's either a 40 or a 50 watt bulb. It's
Okay.
the same amount of lumens, so it's not a spotlight.
But it's enough to zap a mosquito.
Yeah, the white part just is for doing chores, but the blue part does zap some mosquitoes.
How
And,
easy is it to clean? Oh.
The funny thing is, I got the brush and I misplaced the brush, but then I was reading online that the brush is too big to fit through the grill. So someone didn't think about it too carefully. So I'm going to try. I have a mini vacuum with a brush on the end. I'm going to actually try to vacuum the dead mosquitoes out.
So don't run it through the dishwasher. Okay.
No, don't run it through the dishwasher.
Okay, it's you can never be too thin, or have too much money, or have enough USB ports. I'm adding that to that.
That is no joke.
Yeah.
No, and evidently, if you do need more USB, and not only USB but USB 3.0 ports and an Ethernet connection, boy, do we have something for you here.
Yeah, this turned out to be great because for this show and for GizWiz and for Leo Laporte show, I use the Acer S7 computer. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's one of those sleek, thin, lightweight computers.
I think they're called Ultrabooks. Yeah.
Yes, an Ultrabook. I take it with me when I travel. Super thin, but and this is not only true of the Acer S7, but all of these Ultrabooks. They have very few inputs, and you need a USB dongle in order to hook up to the internet. And I have the dongle that came with the Acer, and I was just thinking, I wonder if anybody makes a dongle that would be USB and an Ethernet cable connection. And sure enough, I found one from Initech. So it's a 3-port USB hub and an Ethernet converter, and it was $22.
And let's spell it out. This is not just a USB. It's a 3-port USB 3.0 hub.
3.0.
And the Ethernet connector is a gigabit Ethernet connector, not a 10100, but it's a gigabit Ethernet connector.
It's a gigabit, exactly. And it comes with about a foot of cable. So now in the one the one 3.0 USB I have on one side of my ASA S7, I now have 3 3.0 USB connectors and the Ethernet cable connector. And when I reviewed it on GizWiz, I said, and the one thing about it is it doesn't have the little LEDs that tells you it's getting and sending. And I went to double check the price, and in the week since I had bought it, they had introduced a new model that is now made out of aluminum, has the 3 USB ports, has the LED lights, and is $2 more than what I paid for the other one.
Oh man! And they won't give you a refund on the other one either. I'll tell you what, Dick. We're at the bottom of the hour, and then we'll continue on. You're listening to the Computer America Show. Dick DiBartolo continues on with us with the stuff that he finds and posts on GizWiz.biz. We're going to take a short break. News Tips Bulletin Review from Marty Winston coming up. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering, or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Yeah, he sweated so much he made his own wading pond. Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, exploring Raspberry Pi. Wiley sent their amazingly comprehensive 700-page Exploring Raspberry Pi, Interfacing to the Real World with Embedded Linux by Malloy. We find it kind of ironic that the book takes as much space as 16 of those small controllers. But having seen the scope of information that's online, we like that its explanations cover hardware, connections, the OS, applications, and a surprising spectrum of related topics. No, it doesn't answer absolutely everything, but then nothing does. Bottom line, Exploring Raspberry Pi is a more than helpful first stop for information and guidance whenever a Raspberry Pi challenge appears. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
And welcome back to the Computer America Show. That was Marty Winston with a news tip bulletin review. Always good to hear those, and we have a couple more waiting in the wings, ready for next week.
Yep.
So keep your ears out for those. As we get back here to the second hour, we are in the home stretch of the show here, as we are finishing up with Mr. Dick DiBartolo, who is just now having that ever so common conundrum of buying a product, using it, looking, and seeing a new one has already come out, and it's better, and almost the same price. So, yeah, that was that was the Initech 3-port USB 3.0 hub and gigabit Ethernet converter.
Which is that's a really handy little thing to have, so I think.
It is really great. It's space saving, and also it's something that I throw in my bag when I go. Although rarely can you get a place where you can use a hard wire to hook up to the internet. But it's just good to have.
Well, wouldn't you know? I mean, just like a couple of days after you buy they come out with a new one.
Yes. Well, I wasn't heartbroken because it was $20. But it's sort of how I got into being the GizWiz, because that happened once. And when I was going to spend a lot of money when I was a kid, I was very bold, and I would call companies, and I would just say, "Sir, I'm about to buy an amplifier for $300, and that is like a ton of money for me. And could you just tell me, are you coming out with something new like in the next 2 months? Because I will be heartbroken." And they would often answer me. Yeah, so
we do the same thing every time a company comes here on the show. Luckily, they try to they reach out to us whenever they have a new product on the shelves.
Yes.
But we try to keep up to date on new graphics cards, new computers, new models of phones. We try to keep really close tabs on that, because the last thing you want is, oh look, they're having a sale on this one, and then a week later, oh, they're having a sale because they're coming out with new stuff that's better. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so we move on right along to this next item now. This looks really cool. This is a device that has 80 LEDs built to it. Now, you have to say about LED technology. I truly believe that LED is the light of the future, if not already now. I mean, see it fluorescent.
I thought that was children.
Children
are the future.
Lights, all that stuff is going to go by way of the dodo, because LED lights, I mean, they can do it all. They can dim them, they can brighten, they can change colors. They're efficient. They run efficiently. I mean, I'm seeing more and more automobiles with headlights now that are just strictly LED lights. They're incredibly bright, and we're seeing more of LED flashlights and LED lighting devices coming out. And you found one that's kind of really cool. Tell us about this.
Yeah, this is called Lumi Tower, and it is, as you said, 80 LEDs. Puts out a very decent 720 lumens, and they call it a tower because it's about 13, 14 inches high and maybe 3 inches wide. And there's a stand in the back, so you can use the stand like an easel. If you have a big closet that you're editing and there's no closet light, just put it down on the floor. Out in the workshop, if you're working on your car, you will get a lot of light. You can there's a high beam and a low beam on this, and now they opted for something that may make this not good for certain people, is that you charge it via AC. However, you cannot use the light while it's plugged in.
Really?
And the reason for that is that they're using it as an emergency light. So you plug it in, and it will charge while it's plugged in, but you can't light it. However, if the power goes out, it automatically comes on.
Oh, okay.
So
that's nice.
Yeah, so it's good. So if you put it on low, I'm looking here for the specs. If you put it on low and the power goes out, I think it will stay on for about 6 hours.
Wow.
So it's a good trade-off. So the thing would be, keep it plugged in, and then unplug it, and you can use it for 8 to 10 hours on low as an emergency as a closet light or a work light, and then plug it back in. And also, you could use it as a way to in the bedroom or something where you want to make sure that
Oh my.
the kids have a way to get out.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no, as an emergency device. I don't think you want 720 lumens in your bedroom for.
Oh, I don't want one
for-
watt. What are you talking about? And we actually have a video of the field footage too of this device.
It's very wide. It's very wide. So that's why it's great as a task light.
Is that you running in the woods holding that up, Dick?
No, I couldn't find woods here on West 82nd Street.
And by the way, I'm kidding. That video I just showed was a video that went viral maybe a couple months ago of like the 90,000 lumen LED light. So that's the 1,000 watt LED flashlight that we're showing. But
oh my gosh! We did a spot with one of those, and we fried an egg on it.
I believe it.
Yes,
I believe it.
I think the company was called Wicked Lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean the flashlights get so incredibly hot. But anyway, that's a unique use for LEDs, and it's $20.
Yeah.
And you can buy.
But do you not agree with me that LED light? I think we're all going to be LED lights eventually.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean,
also the
bulbs blowing out and incandescent lamps. Yeah.
And now they're doing warmer LEDs, which is.
Oh, they have multiple Kelvin. Sure, you can have 2600 Kelvin, so it's like very warm. Or they can have the 5000 Kelvin, which is like really bright white. But they can have colors too. They'll change any color. You have like this whole spectrum of the rainbow.
The only problem I hope that they fix with LEDs in the future, and I just noticed this with a couple of different LEDs, and admittedly they're in lower end products, but LEDs don't, they don't blow out, they don't turn off, like they just kind of lose their light over the course of their life. So, if you're 50% into their life, they're like 50% as bright as when you first bought them.
That's gotta
I hope to get to a point where it's like, 70% of its life for some use cases, it goes and then it just shuts off or warms itself, or I just hate that. Like, am I going blind, or are these lights not as good?
I think that's the cheaper LEDs, because the ones that they use, like say in cars today, that are incredibly bright and they're for headlights, they're actually built in. You can't even change those out. You can't, because they're part of it, and they just last and last, and they stay on during the day, they stay on during the night.
Well, I just hope like when they get near the end of their life cycle, they don't just kind of wane. I hope that they actually shut off so I know to replace them.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they're going to.
Right. Oh, and this the 720 lumens, kind of emergency light that you have, does it get hot after a couple minutes, after a couple hours of use?
I didn't have it on for a couple of hours, but all the time I had it on, it did not get hot.
Yeah. Okay. They're very efficient.
They really are efficient.
They really are. Okay, so now this next one, we go from lighting your life to cleaning your teeth with technology. Tell us about this.
Well, Waterpik. I like Waterpik. I don't know if you guys use them, but
absolutely.
For years I've used Waterpik and a sonic toothbrush. And then I was invited to a press event for Waterpik was introducing something new, and I thought it was just going to be a different Waterpik, but what it was an all-in-one unit, which I like a lot. They call it the Complete Care 5.0 system. And so basically now it's a Waterpik unit, and it's really not much bigger than their standalone Waterpiks, but built into the base is now a sonic toothbrush. And what's neat about this, there's several things I like this over my old Waterpik was old. The water tank on my old Waterpik did not have a cover. So this has a cover and a very easy to remove water tank. My other one had a little gasket on the bottom, and you would fill it and you'd try to get the gasket lined up again with the hole in the base. And so this water tank is easy to take out, rinse under the water, put it back in. As I said, it has a lid, a sonic toothbrush. But now, of course, you only need one.
I'm sorry, real quick.
You're watching the video.
The product video that they're showing. This woman, I'm sure, is an amazing actress, and it is what it is. But showing someone with water coming out of their mouth as they're using this inside their mouth, shows me nothing about the product, and that poor lady. I don't know why they put that video up. But okay, go ahead.
I think they just wanted a reason to show you the animation, and they figured, well, if we
Right.
have a real person in it, it's gonna make a little more. And I certainly wasn't gonna shoot any video of me using the product.
Right.
Yeah. So, and there's a couple of other things. The water pick has an on-off switch on the handle and on the device for the water pick part, because I've had several different water picks. One of them, you would pause the action with a push button on the water pick, but if you let your finger off it, the water pick started up again. This has a slide on-off switch, and it's $99. So the water
not
pick,
bad.
I think my last water pick was $60. And a Sonic toothbrush these days is close to 100.
Yeah, I use
So-
the Sonic Hair myself, and the one that I just recently purchased was like $99 for the Sonic.
Yeah, and this does all those quadrants. It gives you a little flash through the toothbrush. You can it skips like a beat, so you know you've done 30 seconds, and then it shuts off after you do the 4 quadrants. So you've done your recommended 2 minutes, and it comes in white and it comes in black.
So I know Waterpik's been around for years and years.
Yes.
So what makes this one different than the other one? This is more technology built in?
I think it's more techy, and I didn't even realize. I thought this was their first 2-in-1, but looking on Amazon, I see they've made other models. But I think it's their most deluxe Sonic toothbrush with a similar water pick. And I like the new design.
And it's in one unit, which is really
All
nice.
in one unit. It's a very small footprint.
Yeah, very, very nice.
I can't speak to this particular one, but I got a water pick when I was like 8 years old. So back then they were great.
Okay.
You used to use it in the pool to shoot.
No. We have the big styrofoam pool noodles that you just kind of blow spurts of water through. But no, that's neither here nor there. No, and like you said, the tank kind of reminds me of instead of like the circle ones that you kind of have to line everything up, kind of reminds me of like Keurigs and whatnot that just have that odd shaped one, so it can only go in one direction.
way. Yes.
So,
You know what I wish they had make it though? I wish they gave the option rather than a tank just to hook it directly to a water faucet, so so you don't have to keep.
and then you lock up your water faucet.
Well. Anyway, it looks.
A redirector from your toilet that splits off from the toilet tank and the water pick. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Clean, sanitary.
Now you can flush and floss. We'll market it. We'll market it as flush and floss.
There it is. Exactly.
That sounds like a perfect box, for those joke joke gifts.
Oh yes, you're
Flush and
absolutely
floss.
right.
Get 'em on the
Flush
phone.
and floss.
Hook your water pick up to your toilet, and you'll never run out of water. Exactly. Except when you flush. All right, this next one here. Now we talk about flashlights, and they have they have LED flashlights, and they have them they have security features.
Hey, it's Bueller. It's our we interviewed these guys.
Yes, I know. I'm coming up to that, and so
Okay.
here is a flashlight that, of all things, contains, would you believe, a DVR, a digital video recorder in a flashlight. Now we've had them on the show. We did have Bueller, but Dick, why don't you tell us about this?
Okay. Did they talk about this, by the way?
Yes,
They were on specifically for this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I thought, you know what? I'm not going to even read the directions. I'm just going to put it. It doesn't come with an SD card, but it records on micro SD and can take up to 32 gigabytes. So I just put a little SD card in it and hit record and walked around the apartment and talking, thinking I have no idea what I'm aiming at. I have no idea what the audio sounds like. And then I actually comes with a little USB cable, plugged it into my computer, and the flashlight just comes up as another drive, and I played the video. The video recording quality is great. My voice sounded very loud and blown out. However, I'm thinking they probably designed the mic so that you can pick up the voices of people in the beam that you might be talking to. It's a very specific kind of device. This is going to be more for police offices or security guards. because it's expensive. The list is $150, but I notice it's been on eBay for months now for $99. I checked, I think on Monday, that it was still $100. But for what it does, the one thing that is kind of humorous, and I don't know, you might not have even known this if you didn't physically use it, is they say in the instructions, we did not label any of the buttons on the flashlight so that there'll be total security.
Right.
Now, the blinking red light at the front of the flashlight, in where the light is, I think is going to be a giveaway that it's more than just a flashlight. However, if you have the flashlight on, I think no one's going to notice the red light.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to use this in some secret manner, just as a flashlight, someone's going to see the red light that you're doing something or recording. But it shoots JPEGs, and all in all, I was very impressed with the build and the video quality.
Yeah, his whole thing about security was that they didn't label the buttons, so if someone were to just pick it up, yeah, sure, they might find it weird that there are 3 buttons on one flashlight. But if you're shining in someone's face, then hopefully they won't notice that. And like you said, I think he wanted people to use it for like traffic accidents. Like you keep in you keep in your glove box or what have you.
Okay.
You get hit, and then you can take a flashlight, shine it on someone's license. Or he even said that his customers were using it as like bouncers, where not only were they using it to card people, but he would pull out the flashlight, take a video of their card, take a video of their face or a picture of their face, and then let them in. And then if someone caused any kind of trouble, they would have their face and their ID on film.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. That's a perfect use for this.
Yeah, except there's no film. It's all solid state.
Right. So very niche, but I'm glad to hear that the video was actually usable.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We actually asked him how he got the name of the company, Bueller, and
Yes.
it was actually from the Takeoff, Ferris Bueller.
From Ferris Bueller. Oh my God.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, but then they couldn't get the rights to like the proper spelling, and there's like 18 different spellings. So he's like, Bueller with the umlauts, please.
So we continue on here. This is a little bizarre, and this is sort of like it looks like a heart.
Oh, it's a very friendly heart.
But it's
this was a very fun thing, and I'll save, if we run out of time, I'll save some of it for next time. What we did on the GizWiz one week is I just said, I shop so many weird websites looking for stuff that I bet listeners to the GizWiz shop on websites that we don't know about and other people don't know about. And I got some wonderful suggestions, so I thought I would share them with the Computer America folks. So this is from Dr. Mom, who is a doctor, and her recommendation is a website called Off the Wagon. And if you have somebody who has health issues, you can get plush versions of body parts. So there's this very plush heart. You can get a lymph node. You can get guts. You can get a gallbladder. It's just very an interesting thing for, or maybe it's a way to teach kids not to be afraid of body parts. I thought that was very clever.
very cute.
I know someone who gets kidney stones regularly, and I'll admit I don't know what the heck a kidney looks like, so I think I would like one of these.
Oh, there you go. So, Craig, you got your Christmas gift or picked out for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I like Flappy the Elephant, though.
Flappy the Elephant. Brian sent this in. It's a website called The Green Head, and this is a website I think that gathers fun things from other websites. But Flappy the Elephant is from Gund, G-U-N-D. They make great stuffed toys, but this is a peekaboo nursery rhyme, and the elephant, his ears fold over his eyes as he sings Peekaboo. I think kids will absolutely love this, and it's about $35. And then so he also suggested at Greenhead we found the most the most elaborate. I'm looking at this car racetrack, and I'm thinking, how could they make a racetrack the size of a car that's just $125? And then I realized that I was missing a zero. So this is $125,000.
Oh my God.
You were just missing a zero. You're missing like a comma and 3 zeros.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So it's like the size of a real Porsche, and the body of this life-size Porsche lifts up, and there's an entire Le Mans Raceway slot car track system inside that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know, and so it was pretty. It is pretty amazing.
Oh, come on. And you're not telling me that this thing's slogan wasn't, you can buy your kids love. You can.
You're not getting that. You're not getting that for Christmas, Ben. You're getting the kidney stones. I can tell you that.
I'm just saying, for $125,000, buy them a car that looks almost like that, and let them drool over it for 8 years until they can drive, and then just give them the car.
Oh, okay, okay.
Wow, that thing's crazy looking.
Yeah.
Very detailed, though. Very detailed.
Very detailed. Yeah, amazing stuff.
$125,000, I would think it would be. But if you don't have $125,000 to spend, you still have something. What is this? Kickerland. This is kind of cute.
Kickerland is interesting because Becky, who is a big fan of the GizWiz, I said, Becky, it's so funny you pick Kickerland because Kickerland, they live at the marina where I keep my boat. They are a website of weird stuff, and some of the weirdest things are these wind-up toys. They're a bizarre spring wind-up toys that they march across the floor, and they just look absolutely weird, but they're fairly reasonably priced. Like I think it's called the a whacker wind-up toy is like $20. So if you want to give a kid something really different and relatively inexpensive, you can check out Kikaland.com.
Yeah.
I guess I can get all the way through them. My favorite website. Have you ever gone to Suck UK?
No, I have not. What is that?
Suck UK, and now it's suckuk.com because they have a branch on Amazon. They make bizarre gadgets like this clothes. It's a toolbox, but when you open it up, it's a barbecue pit. Now that's expensive at $120, but something that I still have is their wine bottle LED. It's a cork for a wine bottle, has a little USB hub so you can charge it, and if you're having company, you can keep putting this plug back in the wine bottle between servings, and it lights up the wine bottle because the bottom of the cork has a down-facing LED light in it. So you charge it up, lights the bottle for 3 hours, and it's under $10.
Wow, very cool. Listen, we're not going to have time to get all these.
That's fine. That's fine.
You can go to see all of them at GizWiz.biz and click the non-paid Lackey Fund on Computer America, and you can see all of them. Dick, what are you up to these days? Just
we did not win best tech podcast of the year.
Oh.
So that's okay. We will ever be nominated as best podcast of the year. I'm just finishing Fixer Uppers. You ever watch that show?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
On HGTV, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be a 6-page satire in Mad, and in the current issue of Mad, I have that thing. How when city garbage bins go absolutely berserk. You know, that there are 9 garbage bins with everything put in them, and people just throw stuff on the ground because they can't be bothered trying to
I'm
figure
curious.
out.
Do you let the people know at Fixer Uppers that you're actually going to do a Mad? I mean, it's an honor to have it done. Do you let
No,
them?
we normally don't tell them. Every once in a while, you know, back when I was doing Match Game, it was great fun because I would satirize movies, and then we would book someone in the movie to be on Match Game, and then I would say, you want a surprise? You want to run over to Mad Magazine with me? I can show you the artwork of your new movie that we're satirizing. Most people love to be satirized in Mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and I'm still on with Leo Laporte on Saturdays on his radio show, and the GizWiz
90 seconds.
GizWiz is at gizwiz.tv.
All right, excellent. Well, listen, Dick, stay with us to the end, please, of course. Yep. And that about wraps up the show here today. Again, thanks to all of you. Now, what do we got? Coming up on tomorrow night's show, we have Canary. Canary is a company
they make birds and very friendly birds.
Yeah, Canary Connect.
60
they have
seconds.
this video surveillance camera for every home, but it's more than just that. It's a complete system. We're going to have the company's CEO talking about it. It works obviously with your smartphone and lets you watch videos remote and take pictures. It's an all-in-one home security system with motion detectors, you name it, built. It's got HD video, audio directly to your phone. It's very, very cool. I'm going to be talking about that in the first hour. And then in the second hour, Computer and Technology News, brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Hey, thank you all so very much for being here, and Ben and I will see you same time, same place. So until tomorrow afternoon, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good one, everyone.
Seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, and again, thank you all for watching the show. Thanks, Dick, for being here with us again, and we'll see you next month, I guess.
See you in July. Very good.
We'll see you in July. All right, bye, everybody. Thanks again.
Bye. Get a camera.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dick.
Bye, Ben. Okay,
Bye.
take care. Bye.
Bye.